Welcome back to another episode of the Natty Teacher. I am, of course, your host. Who else but the Natty Teacher? And it is, what do we got here today? Sunday, October 6th. So again, you're probably seeing this video a week or so later than that. It is our second week of our training block. Getting into our second week of our newer training block. This is the second edition of our new Push A workout. Handful of different exercises, angles, all that kind of fun jazz. So, will be a great one, no doubt about it. We're going to go in there and have the best workout ever. I'm calling it right now. Just feeling it, man. Just feeling it. So, definitely some exciting stuff. Kind of a relatively early-ish morning workout. I like this time. This time is kind of a sweet spot for me when it comes to working out in the morning. So it's a little before 8:30, heading into the gym, got my meal in me, got just about half a gallon of fluid. Well, actually, I should say I will have completed half a gallon of fluid when I top this bad boy off. I got my EAAs, some maltodextrin, and 10 grams of glutamine as well in here. So this is my intra workout concoction. I moved my glutamine to intra, just kind of throwing that in there because I was doing some like lemon water in the morning, and I kind of dig it, and I might, throw back to it a little bit. We'll see. But it just kept on leaving all this like lemony residue in my water, which isn't like a bad thing, but maybe what I'll start doing is like a little lemon water shot in the morning or something. Because I couldn't get that lemon residue out of my larger jug that I was mixing my lemon water with all day. So it just kept on leaving these little flakes. It just, I'd rinse it out and whatever and refill it with water, as I was, at work and stuff like that. And there just kept on being these little flakes in there. So kind of didn't like that. I don't know. I just kind of kind of grossed me out a little bit, I guess. But I don't know. So wasn't the biggest deal, but maybe I'll just start doing a lemon water shot in the morning. So I'll just grind up a lemon and mix it, just dilute it a little bit, and then just swig that bad boy in real quick first thing. I think I'll probably just start doing that. So usually I would mix in glutamine with that water as well, but I'm like, you know what? We'll just throw it back in the intra. Go from there. So that's the plan. Pink lemonade. The pink lemonade flavor of essential amino acids from Nutrex Research. Great stuff. Very, very good. I'm a big pink lemonade guy. I feel it's kind of a slept-on flavor, but it's also one of those flavors where if you don't like it, probably wouldn't be a big fan of it. But I do really like pink lemonade, and that's a good, pretty dang accurate flavor of pink lemonade for sure. So good stuff. I can dig it. So order of operations today, we're going to go in, do probably about roughly 5 minutes of mobility work. Absolutely not necessary, guys. I feel like I've said that in my previous videos before, but I know there's a lot of people who will go in there and do, foam roll and do, 10, 15 minutes of mobility and warm up stuff, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I definitely don't want to say that. But I do want to make it very clear that it is absolutely not a necessity. You can absolutely jump right into your first exercise and warm up within the exercise itself, especially if you're doing, let's say on a push day, you're opening with a side lateral type movement. You can warm up a huge chunk of the upper body with side laterals if done correctly. So definitely not something where it's a necessity to jump in and do a bunch of mobility work. I just prefer it. That's all. I prefer to go in there, and it's not even something crazy. Probably about 5 minutes worth of some band work, a little bit of dumbbell work, maybe even a little cable work, whatever I got available to me, whatever I'm kind of in the mood for, but just enough to kind of get, the body moving a little bit, get a little loose, get a little looser, get a little blood flow going, get a little, maybe even a slight pump. Nothing crazy, but just get moving a little bit. And then we'll jump into our first exercise, which today, as far as order of operations goes, to kind of finish that off, mobility work, machine side laterals, pec deck, then we'll move on to a flat Smith press, and then an incline dumbbell, and then our triceps. So a flat Smith JM press has definitely become one of my favorite tricep movements for sure, and then some overhead cable extensions with a short rope, and then we do have some calf work as well, so some seated calves. So yeah, and that'll be about it. So it should be about probably all-encompassing, maybe about an hour and 45 to 2 hours worth of training. Like I said, I'm already one meal in for the day, so nice and fueled up. I have fruit every morning. I love it. That's one of the nice things about the off season is you can kind of vary your carb sources, and you should anyways. While you're training, off season prep doesn't matter. But for me, like every single morning, like my breakfast is 2 whole eggs, 200 grams of egg whites with those 2 whole eggs, and then 75 grams dry weight cream of rice with like half a scoop of whey isolate just to flavor it, and then half a tablespoon of some peanut butter, organic peanut butter. So where it's just literally the only ingredient in it is peanuts. That's it. So that's what I really look for when I'm buying peanut butter, is looking for peanut butter that is literally just peanuts. That's it. And then I have 100 grams of banana, 100 grams of apple of my choice. So I'll kind of vary my apples. Like right now I have some Granny Smith apples that I'm having, and then 100 grams of cucumber. And that is my meal one. It goes down in like 15 minutes, if that. I love it. I look forward to it every morning. Like it's just a really good, like hearty, energizing meal, and it just tastes really good. It's kind of like unlike any of my other meals. So kind of having a little bit of the savory in there, but with a little bit of the, a pretty fair amount of like a sweet kind of flavor as well. I dig it. But I'm about to pull into the gym here in a second. I'm going to go through my mobility work, get all loosened up, ready to go. Top set of machine side laterals coming at you right about now. All right, so nothing really new here, to be honest with you. Maybe just the overall volume we're using here and the weight. But we are doing some machine side laterals to get us all primed up and ready to go. You can see I'm using a nice full range of motion, getting those arms at least parallel, actually slightly above parallel, really holding it at the top as well, flexing the crap out of those side delts, and then allowing the weight to be controlled on the way down and bringing those arms down. We don't want to like let the arms come down too far and kind of turn them into limp noodles. What you're going to do is lose a lot of tension, and you can create a ton of tension actually at the bottom of this movement if you just don't allow your arms to completely come down to the side. I know it kind of is hard to see here with my angle here, but we did 2 working sets here. I would highly recommend keeping these in that 10 to 12, 10 to 15 rep range. That's where I find I can still use a really good amount of weight, but at the same time, not so much weight where I'm only hitting a set of 6, but not too little weight where I'm doing a set of 20 or what have you. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's just where I've kind of found my sweet spot to be at. So 2 sets there. Then 2 working sets of some good old pec deck. I've been tweaking my form a little bit with this bad boy, really trying to focus on allowing those elbows to drop a little bit. I found that rotates my shoulders back ever so slightly, allows me to keep a little bit more tension on the chest, pushing that chest forward. Again, nice and controlled, getting that nice full range of motion, and squeezing the crap out of those chest fibers together. This is still an exercise I run twice per week, guys. I've gotten pretty good at pec deck. I really enjoy it. If it works, why change it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So again, kind of the same recommendation for the machine side laterals would apply here for the pec deck. Highly recommend keeping these in that 8 to 12, 8 to 15, 10 to 15 rep range or so. Like I'm in my 3rd week. All this footage, by the way, is from my 2nd week of this new training split. So I'd already done this training split for a week. So all of this is from my 2nd week here. So I am currently in my 3rd week as of right now. Pec deck's just continuing to climb. Then we got some flat Smith machine press here. Okay, we got 2 plates, a 10 and a 5 on here. So a little bit more weight than we are normally using for my low incline press. This being my 3rd exercise, I did have a little bit of fatigue here, but obviously the main goal in this off season is to, of course, get stronger and bigger. Absolutely, but in a proper way. So we're not trying to just get stronger by trying to add weight and, lose technique. We're really trying to get stronger properly here. So was able to crank out a solid set of 9 for this one, and it felt really good. So then we have some incline. Oh, and then we did a second set, 20 pounds lighter, and also did that for a set of 9 during this week. We did hit for 10 though today, because since I'm doing this voiceover a week later. But incline dumbbell press, what do we got here? The 90s. Again, get that nice full stretch, allow the dumbbells to come down, actually touch the outside of the upper portion of the chest, get that really, really nice deep stretch. I usually like to sit in the bottom for a moment as well, so you see like right there, how I kind of sit in that hole a little bit, so it's not just trying to like touch the chest and bounce it off the chest and then bring it up. We're really trying to open that chest up and get that nice full range of motion. Again, I would highly recommend that 8 to 12 rep range for both pushing movements. I would highly recommend that 8 to 12 rep range or so. So you're really pushing here. I think this was a set of 10. So I was nice and happy with that. We did end up going a little bit heavier this week, so little sneak preview. Then some flat Smith JM press. I actually switched the volume on my triceps. So this one I was doing 3 working sets of, and I felt like that was a little much. So we actually have dialed that back down to 2 working sets. But what we do is we do a top set like is shown here, and then we'll do like a myo rep match set to where, essentially I'll do, let's say I did a top set of 10 like I did here. Then what I'll do is, like, let's say I'll get 6 or 8 in a row, rack it, do another 2, rack it, do another 1 or 2 until we get to 10 for that second set. So both sets will be a total set of 10 reps each set, but usually that second set, I'll have to rack it. Usually just once. I usually don't have to rack it more than once. If I'm racking it more than once, I'm probably using a little bit too much weight. But did add a little bit of weight to this week as well, but the week shown here felt really, really good. Again, trying to keep those elbows in a relatively neutral position, not tucking them too hard to the body, but also not flaring them like completely out, kind of find that sweet spot in between. You can really, I like to just think of loading the tricep. That's the best way I can think about this. I am loading the tricep and driving that weight up. So we did 2 working sets here. Then this one, some hard to see. Sorry about the horrible camera angle. I realized it was completely cut out after I did this, but just some single arm overhead rope extensions. So I actually am using a short rope here. Felt really good. I do 3 working sets here. This one I did add a little. This was one I was doing 2 working sets of in the past and 3 on the flat JM. We flip-flopped that. So I'm doing 2 working sets on the flat JM press, really pushing that to its limit, especially on that second set and the first set too. And then this one I added that extra volume too. So again, I like to keep this in that 10 to 15 rep range. Again, it's super hard to tell here. I apologize. But I'm allowing that hand to dip way below the back of my head and essentially getting that nice full stretch in the tricep and then getting that nice extension out of it. So felt really good. I was super happy with it. It was a phenomenal session, man. Absolutely. Push a session in the freaking books, man. Hey, ooh, hey, whoa. That was some good stuff, man. That was some really good freaking stuff. Loved it. That's a big old plate of gabagool. It was great. It was great stuff, man. It was a phenomenal workout. Definitely some progression within there, both weight and form progression. Here's something I wanted to point out. It looked like I just spit a massive amount. Gross. Sometimes progression does not have to be just strictly reps and weight. I feel like people make that mistake where they're so focused on, I got 8 reps this week, I got to get at least 9. And then I got 9 reps this next week, now I got to get at least 10. And yes, that is, of course, just the basic concept of progressive overload. You're adding weight, you're adding reps, you're progressively overloading this particular movement, what have you. But that does not necessarily mean that is the only way to make progress. I'll give you a perfect example, okay? For my flat Smith press, like 2 plates, a 10 and a 5 on there. It's my 3rd exercise. Not so concerned about the weight, but of course I do want to increase the weight as time goes on and also increase, the reps and keep them in that 8 to 12 rep range or so. So last week I did the same weight, 2 plates, 10 and a 5, for 9. Solid ones. And today I also did it for 9, but I looked back at last week and I'm like, okay, let's see if we can find something that was, signifying some sort of progress. And right away, I noticed once I got to that 8th rep, last week, the 8th rep last week went up slow. It went up slow, looked like I was stuck, might not even be able to get another rep. This week, however, that 8th rep went up significantly smoother. And the 9th rep. 9th rep was a tough one, but it still went up smoother, okay? So right there, progress, boom. It's like I was able to, yes, do the same amount of reps, but I was able to effectively do the same amount of reps quite a bit easier this week compared to last week, okay? And I could tell, I could literally physically see it. It's one of the reasons why it's one of the reasons I love having this channel is I record myself and post these on YouTube, but I also record myself and look back and like analyze the footage and how the form looked. It's like, was the tempo okay? Like my tempo still on my flat is not quick, but a little quick on the way down. Like I have a nice good soft pause at the bottom. tempo's a little quick on the way down though still. I need to slow it down just ever so slightly, but nothing crazy. It's not like I'm like slamming it down on my chest, but I definitely could slow it down just a tad bit more, and still keep it within that effective range of, where the reps and weight that I want to hit for sure. So, but no, felt really good. Could absolutely see that progress was there. Like I said, the 8th rep moved smoother, 9th rep moved smoother. So it's like, yeah, I hit the same amount of reps, but 2 out of the 9 reps I did this week moved better than 2 out of the 9 reps I did last week. That is progress, my friends. It is. And I feel like, again, we get so caught up, and I get caught up in the logbook, so I totally get it. But at the same time, you got to find ways to try to back off of that. You have to try to find ways to get yourself into situations where you're not just trying to beat the logbook. I'm not saying, put it this way, I firmly do believe in this. If you are logging your workouts, which I think is a great idea regardless, even if you just do it on like the Notes app on your phone, but I do firmly believe that challenging yourself to, keep up with and potentially beat the logbook is not a bad thing, but it's just if you're doing it right. You know what I mean? What I mean by that is like if you did a workout last week, say it's a push workout, and your technique, form, everything was perfect, then this week you want to at least copy that and maybe add a little bit of weight, or maybe add a couple of reps, or maybe clean up the reps even more, okay? That all is examples of progress, and that is still beating the logbook, even if you hit the same amount of reps. It might even sound weird. Here's a weird one for you. You might even lose a rep or two, but if your tempo and control and contractions and the squeeze and the pump you're getting on exercises is better, that, as weird as it may sound, is a form of progress, and you can rebuild from there properly, okay? So it's never too late. It is never too late, guys. Make sure that you are technically proficient in everything you do and that you connect with the movement. You're not just trying to move a bunch of weight just to move it. If you want to move a bunch of weight just to move it, get into powerlifting. That's perfect. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's still, obviously, you have to be extremely technically proficient there as well. But obviously, the end goal is anything you can do to get those 2 or 3 green lights, whatever makes it lift eligible, you're going for it. You know what I mean? So in bodybuilding, it's different. There are no green lights. There is nobody watching. You can do whatever kind of form you want to do all day, every day, but your body is going to reflect that. You know what I mean? And so it's one of those things where it's like, what do you think you're going to benefit more from? Slowing everything down a little bit, controlling the weight, getting full range of motion, or just picking up weight and slamming it? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go out on a whim and say that for 99.9 infinity 0.9% of the population, really 100, controlling the weight, using weight that's realistic, and building properly, progressively overloading properly from there is going to be crucial for sure. Do it right, keep it tight, do it right, have fun with it, man. So anyways, that's all I got for you today, man. Make sure you like and share the video. Drop any comments, questions, or feedback you got below. Again, this is the second week of this new training block. Let me know what you guys think. I really care what you guys think about like my training, and I love getting feedback and questions and comments and what have you about my training. I would love to hear from you guys, with regards to this new training block. And if you like these, the workouts, and, if they are making sense to you, if they look cool, if they, are, exciting, if you think there's just like, whoa, this is blatantly wrong, let me know. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So, anyways, yeah, man, so that's all I got. Make sure if you have not already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Really helps me out, helps our channel out. We are, steadily approaching 600 subscribers. So we are almost 60% to 1,000, which is crazy. We just started this channel back in May, and it is October, so we haven't even been at this for like 5 months yet, and we're already, getting close to that 600 range. So it's awesome stuff. I really appreciate you guys. And if you ever have any comments or questions that you don't feel comfortable with posting on YouTube, please feel free to shoot me a message, give me a follow over on Instagram, same handle, just at the Natty Teacher, and I will reach back out to you as soon as I see the message. So, yeah. But anyways, for today, I am the Natty Teacher. Most importantly, God bless. And this episode of Road to Natty Pro is out. I will catch y'all on the flippity flop.